It's time now for the Muletrain News on this Thursday, June the 8th, 2023, brought to you today by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. Church service for Pamela Flores, 54 of Muleshoe, is set for 11 a.m. this morning, Thursday, June the 8th, at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church with Father Herberto Mercado officiating. Rosary was yesterday at the Ellis Funeral Home in Muleshoe. Burial will follow in the Bailey County Cemetery. Pamela died Saturday, June the 3rd, here in Muleshoe. She was born April 9th, 1969, in Morton to Mario and Anita Castillo Flores. Pamela loved music, dancing, and singing. She adored her grandchildren. She made great enchiladas and flautas. Pamela enjoyed traveling and was a huge fan of the Los Arcos Hinos Peña music. Most of all, she loved to laugh. She is preceded in death by her father, Mario, and her sister, Sylvia. Pamela is survived by her mother, Anita, a son, George Martinez and Marley Wilson of Muleshoe, two daughters, Ariana Martinez of Hayward, California, and Marina Martinez of Ohio, three sisters, Laura Garcia of Muleshoe, Mary Montez of Sudan, Cassandra Flores of Canyon, a brother, Hector Flores, and his wife, Lori of Stephenville, and five grandchildren, Nyla Martinez, Alexander Kaler, Amelia Kaler, Nayeli Minivar, and Marcelo Minivar. The family suggests memorials be sent to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, 262 Danny Thomas Place, Memphis, Tennessee, 38105. Online condolences can be made at ellisfuneralhomes.com on their website. And repeating, church service for Pamela Flores, 54 of Muleshoe, is set for 11 a.m. this morning, Thursday, June the 8th, at the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church with Father Herberto Mercado officiating. Burial will follow in the Bailey County Cemetery. Pamela died on Saturday, June the 3rd. Please keep the Flores family on your prayer list today. Baldemar Balti Orozco, 68 of Muleshoe, died Thursday, May 25th, here in Muleshoe. He was born March 31st, 1955, in Progreso, Texas, to Dolores and Estanciada Vasquez Orozco. Memorial service was held last week, Tuesday, May the 30th, at the Ellis Funeral Home Chapel with Father Sergio Leal officiating. Balti was an avid Steelers fan. He worked for Pizza Hut for over 30 years. He loved to play tricks and joked that he was Bruce Lee. Balti enjoyed watching WWE and was a huge fan of American muscle cars. He was a loving father and grandfather. Balti was a member of the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church here in Muleshoe. He is preceded in death by his parents and a sister, Adela Orozco. Balti is survived by a son, Patrick Orozco, and his wife, Josie of Muleshoe, three sisters, Bilia Villa, Portalis, Noelia Shorty Flores of Muleshoe, and Hilda Pacheco and her husband Pedro of Sudan. Five brothers, Ray Orozco of Lubbock, Lionel Orozco and his wife Evelyn of Goodrich, Texas, Mario Orozco of Muleshoe, Israel Orozco of Friona, John Orozco of Irving, and four grandchildren, Jolisa Reyes, Mavis Oliveras, Riley Orozco, Naya Orozco, and one on the way, Haven Orozco. The family suggests memorials be sent to the Muleshoe Meals on Wheels program, 301 South First Street, Suite 110, Muleshoe, Texas, 79347. Please keep the family of Balti Orozco on your prayer list today. 68 in Muleshoe. He died Thursday, May the 25th, here in Muleshoe, and his memorial service was held Tuesday, May the 30th, with Father Sergio Leal officiating. And if you don't remember Balti, you never had pizza delivered to your house here in Muleshoe, as he delivered for Pizza Hut for over 30 years. Please keep the Orozco family on your prayer list today. Cheryl Ann Lindemann, 67, of Muleshoe, died on Sunday, June the 4th, in Lubbock. She was born March 31st, 1956, in Santa Monica, California, to Warren and Evelyn McConaughey Johnson. She married Jeffrey Lindeman in Las Vegas, Nevada on October the 11th, 1976. Anne became a nurse in the late 1980s and focused her practice on critical care at Presbyterian Hospital in Albuquerque. She later earned her master's in nursing from the University of Phoenix and became a nurse practitioner. Known as Doc Ann, she became the medical director for GE Aircraft in Albuquerque and continued caring for patients until she medically retired. After more than 2 decades of nursing, she was passionate about helping patients, making sure they receive quality medical care. Anne was a devoted wife, mother, and grandmother, married to the love of her life for almost 50 years. She and her husband enjoyed being granny and papa to all their grandchildren. She treasured spending time with them and watching them grow. She was an avid quilter and loved making beautiful, colorful quilts and special things for those she loved. One of her favorite things to do was visit fabric stores anywhere she went. She had a gift for turning fabric scraps into breathtaking tapestries. Anne is preceded in death by a son, Christopher Lindeman, her parents, and a brother, John Johnson. Anne is survived by her husband, Jeffrey, a son, Jeffrey Lindeman II, and his wife, Amy of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, a daughter-in-law, Jamie Lindeman of Rio Rancho, New Mexico, 4 grandchildren, Ryan, Jack, Sean, and Samuel. The family suggests memorials be sent to the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, 262 Danny Thomas Place, Memphis, Tennessee, 38105. Please keep the family of Cheryl Ann Linderman, 67 of Muleshoe, on your prayer list today. She died Sunday, June the 4th in Lubbock. It's time now for the weather forecast, brought to you by Gilliam Advertising Channel 6. We are looking for a sponsor for our weather program. So if you, your business, your organization, your church wants to sponsor our weather, please call me on my cell phone at 806-566-5881, and we can talk about getting your advertising up and running and your message across to Muleshoe. Of course, we'll share it right here on our weather forecast program here on the Muletrain News, along with our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and our website as well, muleshoetv.com. Well, even up through a lot of the first part of May here at the Weather Service Station here at Channel 6 in our backyard, we were still under an inch of rain total for 2023, but boy, someone flipped a switch there, and that just changed over the last 3 weeks or so, as our May rainfall total here at the National Weather Service Station at Channel 6 ended up for May 5 inches and 73 100ths, and our June total through 8 days is an inch and 95 100ths, so we're already nearly over 2 inches just in the first 8 days of June. We will take that. It has been a wonderful blessing to see everything green up here in the Muleshoe area, as once again through a lot of the 1st of May we didn't even have an inch of rain total on the 2023 year. And we did get some numbers from the Avenue K rain gauge that the National Weather Service has. If you're ever driving up Avenue K and you see that rocket little white container on the south side of the street, that is a large rain gauge. I go pull the data out of it and send it to the Weather Bureau, and they decipher it and will send it back to me. So our 2023 year at that Avenue K rain gauge is like this. January, we got 21 100ths of an inch. February, 2/10. March, we got nothing, 0 inches of rain for March 2023. April, we got 9 100ths. Then in May, that rain gauge just around the corner, it's not too far from us, did a little bit better than we did here at the National Weather Service Station at Channel 6. They got 6 inches and 13 100ths. And June, this is through Monday afternoon, when I pulled the data out of it, it had an inch and 21 100ths. So it's got a little bit more since then. But we will take it, as we've had a great May and June so far. The Muleshoe Mesonet Station, Their May total of rain was 6 inches and 4/10. The Earth Mesonet Station May rain total, it's in a field right next to Toke Plant. It got 6 inches and 28/100 for May. The Muleshoe Mesonet Station is 2 miles south of town, just west off of Highway 214 in a field right there 2 miles south of town. So the 2023 total at the Muleshoe Mesonet stations is 8 inches and 53/100 for the year. And the Earth Mesonet station has a total for the year at 8 inches and 9/100. So that gets us up to close to what our average should be on a normal year. We'll just hope to keep our fingers crossed and keep praying that our rain continues through the rest of the summer, and we should have a good season. Looking at our forecast, it is very different than it has been in a long, long time, as we don't have any rain chances in the 7-day forecast. Of course, that can change, but as of right now, today for Thursday, sunny, high near 87. We haven't been up that high either in a long time, and we do need some heat and some sunshine here, and we should get it today in the next several days in the future. West southwest winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Then tonight, mostly clear, low around 57. West winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming east this Thursday evening. Then looking at the forecast for Friday, mostly sunny, high near 89, so even a little bit warmer. Northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming southeast Friday afternoon. Friday night, mostly cloudy, low around 56. West southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, high near 90 degrees. West southwest winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Then Saturday night, mostly clear, low around 56. West southwest winds around 10 miles per hour, becoming southeast after midnight Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, high near 87 degrees, so cooling off just a smidge. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour, becoming southeast in the afternoon. Then Sunday night, mostly clear, low around 56. East southeast winds around 15 miles per hour. Monday, sunny, high near 86 degrees. East winds between 10 and 15 miles per hour, becoming south in the afternoon. Monday night, mostly clear, low around 58. Tuesday, sunny, high near 91. Tuesday night, mostly clear, low around 58. Wednesday next week, sunny, high near 90. So some nice, warm, summer-like weather here for the next 7 days. No rain in the forecast. As you may know, the Muleshoe Water Park, they had some refurbishing to do, and they needed 4 days of no rain to get some new parts and things done to their system, and they haven't been able to get that done yet and are still waiting to get it done. But if you look at that weather forecast, they should be able to get the Muleshoe Water Park up and running in the very near future. So keep your fingers crossed, as we'll hope that the Muleshoe Water Park opens very soon. But that's the weather forecast for the next 7 days here for the Muleshoe area. We'll take a break here, and this edition of the Muletrain News is brought to you today by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. And don't forget, they have a brand new menu with some new items on the menu, along with lots of new desserts. Also, they have a new bar at Leal's, the original Leal's, right here in Muleshoe, 1010 West American Boulevard. And they have drink specials and meal specials during their happy hour on Saturday evening. Also, a lot of times on Saturday evenings, they have live musical entertainment at the original Leal's right here in Muleshoe, 1010 West American Boulevard. Make sure to come in and see their brand new menu. They have new entree items along with a lot of new desserts and many, many new drinks, all available through their new bar at Leal's, the original Leal's, the old Leal's, lots of new right now. Victor and Debbie and all of their employees invite you to come by the original Leal's, 1010 West American Boulevard, right here in Muleshoe. The Muleshoe Area Medical Center reminds you to get vaccinated. Muleshoe, for you, your community, your family, and for your country. You can get vaccinated at any one of their clinics. Call for an appointment now, 806-272-4524. The Muleshoe Area Medical Center also reminds you to continue your recovery close to home. If you or a loved one needs more time to heal after an illness, injury, or surgery, the Swing Bed program at the Muleshoe Medical Center can help. Call the Swing Bed coordinator at 806-272-4524 or go by their website, muleshoehospital.com/recovery for more information. Well, a big 104th birthday goes out to Ruby Green. They celebrated her with a nice birthday lunch at the Senior Center this week. 104 years old, Muleshoe's own Ruby Green. A big happy 80th birthday goes out to Ken Box. Happy 80th, Ken. And happy 48th anniversary goes out to David and Lee Ann Gallman. Well, we've had some problems with the Methodist Church and their services on Sunday. We're going to try to go down there tomorrow and see if we can get some of that worked out. But please ride with us as we try to get that fixed at the Muleshoe Methodist Church and their Sunday services available on our website, muleshoetv.com. The live stream from the First Baptist Church this Sunday, of course, it's at 11 a.m. every Sunday morning, right on our front page, muleshoetv.com, or you can click on the First Baptist tab. Either it'll be in both places. It also simultaneously live streams on our two Facebook pages, Gil Lamb and Channel 6 Muleshoe, on our Twitter feed, Channel 6 Muleshoe, and on our YouTube channel, Gil Lamb Advertising. The service will include a message by Dr. Stacey Connor this coming Sunday, June the 11th. Have you noticed Jesus seems to call busy people? Matthew 9 through 13. If you want to go back to last week's live stream from their Sunday morning service, it's a fun one, as it's their Vacation Bible School Sunday. As all this week, they've had a very, very successful and fun Vacation Bible School, reaching out to the whole Muleshoe community in our area. Lots of kids came out to the Vacation Bible School this week at the First Baptist Church. Well, we covered a couple things on this past Saturday here in Muleshoe. It was a beautiful first weekend in June to kick off the summer vacation for the kids, as they enjoyed the City of Muleshoe sponsored the Youth Fishing Day. And you can see our video on the front page of our website, muleshoetv.com. A lot of the kids and their parents out fishing around Lake Muleshoe in the new city park. And then you can see the Texas Junior Anglers as they announce all of the winners in the different divisions, and they hand out prizes to the Muleshoe kids. They're all on our video, muleshoetv.com. That's our Meet Your Neighbor program for June, brought to you by United Supermarkets. It's always a lot of fun. The Youth Fishing Day, sponsored by the City of Muleshoe. It happens the first Saturday of every June in our new city park around Lake Muleshoe, and the pond gets stocked with lots of large size fish right beforehand each one of these events. They had a little bit different situation this year, as all of the rain that we had since it had been stocked was keeping most of the larger fish down as low and the center of the little lake as they could possibly get. So there was a lot of smaller fish caught this year at the Youth Fishing Day. We also went out and shot pictures for Morgan Markle for her Clubbing It for Reed fundraiser for kids with cancer, and they had that 5th annual Clubbing It for Reed out at the Muleshoe Country Club and Golf Course. We have some of the winners here from the Clubbing It for Creed 5th annual. Team Hairball shot 51. They're the winner. Jason Box, Cash Reader, Connor Harrison, and Alan Harrison. Again, they shot a 51 and they won the tournament. The longest drive in the morning was Derek Hodges. The longest drive in the afternoon group, Dallas Province. Closest to the pin in the morning group, Mike Nichols. Closest to the pin in the afternoon group, Troy Moore. Best team name in the morning was voted Bogey Brothers. Best team name in the afternoon, Couples Therapy. The sun was out and the rain waited for us to finish the day, writes Morgan. It was so much fun and it was always a beautiful success. Thank you to all who came out and supported Remembering Reed. See you next year. We went out and shot pictures of all the groups and other things going on there at the Clubbing It for Reed 5th Annual Golf Tournament, and we should be sharing it on our Facebook, our pictures coming up shortly, so look for that. Well, last week, the Plainview Daily Herald had on May 26 a story by Elisa Harris that says Dr. Mark McClanahan set to retire. And if you remember, Dr. Mark McClanahan spent many years here in Muleshoe practicing medicine with our Muleshoe Area Medical Center. And we'll read a little portion of this story. Otherwise, you can find it in the May 26 edition of the Plainview Herald, the entire story. Following an internship at Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center in Amarillo, he settled in Muleshoe where he practiced medicine for 12 years. I did everything. A true country doctor, he said. He delivered babies, dealt with fractures, worked emergency room cases, and worked in the busy clinics. At that point, I thought I might want to teach, so I went back to Tech for another 2 years, he said. The next stop in his journey was to Brownfield, where he established a clinic. After 8 years, he was approached by some former pediatric patients from Muleshoe who were medical residents at this point and were interested in starting a practice. I said, well, let's go to Plainview. McClanahan said, I knew they were hungry for doctors. They created West Texas Family Medicine with the intent to provide all services under one roof. They partnered with the Texas Tech University Health Science Center School of Medicine and with McClanahan's alma mater, TCOM, to provide learning opportunities for medical students. Teaching is one of the things that I really enjoy, Mark McClanahan says, and that's a portion of a story called Dr. Mark McClanahan set to retire from the May 26 Plainview Herald, written by Elisa Harris. So congratulations and good luck, and hope you enjoy your retirement. You deserve it, Dr. Mark McClanahan. Again, he practiced for 12 years right here in Muleshoe. Well, we've missed out the last couple of mule trains, and we've apologized for it, but we should have told you that the new director at the Bailey County Senior Center is Annette Orozco. We know that she'll do a great job down there at the Senior Center, and so make sure to go by the Senior Center and welcome Annette Orozco as she has been hired as the new director at the Bailey County Senior Center, Main and Avenue D, right here in Muleshoe. Well, we have a couple more new videos on the front page of our website that include the Memorial Day service held on May the 29th at the Bailey County Cemetery outside of Muleshoe, Texas. It's sponsored by the Bailey County Cemetery Association. The board president is Raul Torres, and he is the master of ceremonies. He gives a welcome and a prayer. The Muleshoe Volunteer Fire Department does the flag ceremony. Curtis Shelburne has some special music, and Jeff Kaufman, Brother Jeff Kaufman of Calvary Baptist Church, is the speaker, and that's our Meet Your Neighbor program brought to you by United Supermarkets from May. The Bailey County Cemetery Association Memorial Day service held on May 29th at the Bailey County Cemetery. It's on the front page of our website right now. Along with the MISD Teachers of the Year, that end of school year program, they honored a lot of the retirees, which included Sabrina Eccles, Jody Davis, Shelley Turnbow, and Belinda Head. Staff Member of the Year was awarded to Marion Martinez, Elementary Teacher of the Year to Shelley Turnbow, and Secondary Teacher of the Year to Pam Doolittle. See that on the front page of our website. Of course, brought to you by our end of the school year sponsors, which include Muleshoe Area Medical Center, Barrett Potato Farms, Burton Service Center, Dell Oil Company, Farmers Insurance, Julie DeBruin, Irrigation Pumps and Power, Leal's Tortilla Factory, McCormick Seeds, Muleshoe Housing Authority, McDonald's Restaurant, 5 Area Telephone, West Plains Telecommunications, Muleshoe ISD, Muleshoe Animal Clinic and Vet Supply, Bailey County Electric, WTG Fuels, Precure Electric, Shipman's Body Shop and Autoplex, High Tech Automotive, Mohawk Auto Parts, and Bailey County Farm Bureau, Scott Miller. So that ends up all of our videos for the end of the school year, sponsored by those advertisers who want to say good luck to the class, MHS class of 2023. You can see the live stream from May the 20th of the MHS class of 2023 graduation service, that was held at the Benny Douglas Football Stadium. You can see the 2023 MHS Prom, MHS Academic Awards Program, and naming of the valedictorian and salutatorian for the MHS class of 2023, Michaela Hasselhoff and Zabri Hasselhoff. You can see the elementary, Dillman Pre-K, kindergarten graduations and awards program, along with first and second grade awards programs from Dillman. Also, Watson Junior High School Academic Awards Assembly. MHS Senior Class walked through the halls of Dillman Elementary with the kindergarten class. You can see the MHS 2023 Athletic Banquet, along with the 2023 MHS Fine Arts Festival. Just hours and hours and hours of content from the end of the school year, available now all for free, on demand. You can watch them on demand, free of charge, on our website, muleshoetv.com. You just don't get that in many other areas, especially towns our size. Also, I should have mentioned from last Sunday, the missionary Mark McCutcheon spoke at the Calvary Baptist Church. He's a missionary in Brazil, and you can hear his sermon to the Calvary Baptist Church from June the 4th on our website, muleshoetv.com. Well, we'll do the last two. Bailey County Senior Citizen Center sponsors of the week. Last week, the sponsor was Diane Brown, and this is Carolyn Johnson Turner writing. Diane Brown was born and raised here in Muleshoe. As a child, she enjoyed being in a large family. Diane had 4 brothers and 4 sisters. Today, only 3 of 9 children are living. Diane was the daughter of Gladys Pryor and Bay Wilson. Her father passed away at the young age of 59. Gladys passed away in 2006 at the age of 91. Diane's grandmother was Czechoslovakian. Her name was Josie Sophia Chomrochok. At the age of 15, she came to the United States as a stowaway on a ship. After arriving in the States, she settled around the area of Cotton Center, Texas. I asked Diane, besides your grandmother and your parents, were there any other individuals in your life that had a big influence on you? The first person she mentioned was a pastor named Frank Dackworth. He was the minister at Northside Church of Christ. He was also the pastor who baptized Diane. She told me, I was so impressed with the whole family. They were all very nice, just good people. Diane met James Brown when she was in high school. They both went to West Texas State University in Canyon. She was a freshman there, and James was a senior. Their courtship turned into an engagement, and Diane and James were married July the 8th, 1966. It was a small wedding, and they went to Colorado on their honeymoon. James' first job after he graduated from college was the Soil Conservation Service in Wellington. He was later moved to Crosbyton, where he also worked for the soil conservation. During this time, James and Diane were blessed with three lovely daughters. The first daughter was Courtney Brown Pierce, who was born in 1967. The second daughter was Jana Brown Finkley, who was born in 1968. And the last daughter, Debbie Brown Schultz, who was born in 1970. After all three girls started school, which was in 1976, Diane went to work for Dell Oil Company. She left that job in 2002 and started her own career selling Mary Kay products. She was most successful as she was one of the few who was awarded a red Pontiac Vibe. Winning the car is based on sales and the amount of money earned per quarter. Today, Diane is still selling Mary Kay products. One of the toughest times in Diane's life was when she lost her daughter, Jana, to cancer. Jana had two children, and after her death, their father, Scott Finkley, raised their son and daughter and are currently living in Spring, Texas. Diane went on to tell me that she literally packed up and moved to Spring so she could spend the last days with her daughter, Jana. Diane said that she was grateful that she got to live with Jana and her family the last 6 months of her life. Diane told me she was fortunate to leave her to have her other two daughters still in her life. Debbie has given Diane 5 grandchildren, and Courtney has given her 2 grandchildren. Jana had 2 children who still live in Spring. James and Diane were honored to receive the Farm Family of the Year award in 1976 from the Muleshoe Chamber of Commerce. At the same chamber banquet, Diane received the Employee of the Year. She was working at the time for Dell Oil Company. Diane told me some of the greatest times in their life was the cruises she and James went on together. There were many of them: Tahiti, Ireland, the Western Mediterranean, and many more. While James was on the Cotton Incorporated board, he and Diane got to go on 4 trips per year for 15 years to cities across the southern United States of America. Unfortunately, James passed away in 2016, about a year after losing her daughter. And to make matters worse, the Brown family had just celebrated James and Diane's 50th anniversary a short time before his death. But Diane has persevered. She is still selling her Mary Kay products and spends time enjoying the fellowship and activities at the Bailey County Senior Citizen Center. I can vouch for the fact that Diane is a great pool player. When at the senior, she comes out the winner many times. Diane also enjoys bowling and in on the bowling league in Clovis, New Mexico. She bowls there every week. Diane says that she has no regrets of growing up in a large family. As a child, she said, I often wondered what it would be like to take piano lessons or do the things I saw other children doing, but I understood that in a large family, the money is not always there. Diane is an individual who understands that life happens. When a trial comes into her life, she chooses strength. When gloom and doom sometimes get her down, she chooses laughter. And when life has given her a reason to cry, she shows us all how to smile. We are fortunate to have Diane at our center. Thank you, Diane, for all you do for your loved ones, your friends, your community, and our center. You are truly one of the blessings God has sent our way. And that's Carolyn Johnson Turner writing about last week's Bailey County Senior Center sponsor of the week, Diane Brown. The Bailey County Senior Center sponsor of the week for this week is Mark Morton. And this is, again, Carolyn Johnson Turner writing about Mark. William Hersey Davis once wrote an article on reputation and character. One sentence from that came to me as I wrote today's story. That sentence is: reputation is what you have when you come to a new community, character is what you have when you go away. Today's sponsor of the week is one who came to Muleshoe with a great reputation, and there is no doubt that a great character is what he will have when he leaves. That individual is Mark Morton, who is an agent for State Farm Insurance. Mark was born in Homer, Louisiana. If you don't know where that is, it is in the northwestern part of the state. It gets its name from the Greek poet Homer. Homer's Greek revival-style brick courthouse was completed in 1860. It is now the showplace of the city's collection of sites on the National Registry of Historic Places. Though Mark was born in Homer, he actually grew up in Ruston, Louisiana, which was a small city. It is also the parish seat of Lincoln Parish, Louisiana. It sits near the border of the Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas region and is home to Louisiana Tech University. Mark loved being in Ruston for two really good reasons. One, it was at Louisiana Tech that Terry Bradshaw made his fame, and two, it was where Kim Mulkey played basketball. After her college days, she became the basketball coach at Baylor, and after LSU hired her after her team won the national championship. After 3 years of animal science curriculum at Louisiana Tech, Mark was accepted to study veterinary medicine at Auburn University in Auburn, Alabama. After receiving his Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree, Mark worked in a large animal practice in Frederick, Oklahoma for 2 years. In 1978, after 2 years in Frederick, he moved back to his hometown Ruston and practiced as a veterinarian for 8 more years. It was then that he decided to make a career change. That change was to go to work as an agent for State Farm Insurance. He accepted a position in which he went to work for an older gentleman who was near retirement. His goal was to become an agent after the older agent retired, but he nor the older agent could make that decision. State Farm Insurance had select state leaders in the company who decided who would become agents. Mark met with the sales leaders and told them no matter where it was, he would take the first opportunity he could get to start his own agency. An opportunity did open up, and it was in Muleshoe, Texas. So he and his family moved to Muleshoe on August the 1st, 1990. He opened his office here on October 1st, 1990, and after 33 years, he is still here in Muleshoe as the most successful State Farm agent. Mark had been through Muleshoe many times as a child. His mom and dad would come through our town on their way to summer vacation. One of the places they enjoyed most was Pagosa Springs, so every summer they spent their full 2-week vacation there. Mark told me that he loved it there because he, his brother, and their dad would go fishing every day and would catch trout like crazy. The whole family would spend summer vacation there and never get tired of it. Mark's dad did all of the driving on the trip. It was no short journey from Ruston, Louisiana to Pagosa Springs, Colorado. Every year, Mark's mom would make his dad stop along the trip to eat and take a nap. The stop they always made was at a small roadside park in Muleshoe that now sits at the side of the Church of Christ here in Muleshoe and right across from the Bailey County Civic Center on Highway 84. Mark told me that he can't pass that little park without remembering all the great times he had there as a child. I asked Mark the question, "What is the greatest thing you have ever done in your life?" His immediate answer was, "I met and married Eileen." He told me that besides his Savior, she is the greatest person in his life. He went on to tell me what a great asset she has been to him. Mark told me to start a new business and build it from the ground up is no easy task. I literally started my agency with zero clients when I opened, but Mark was one of those great people who got involved, and he became friends to so many in this area. He and Eileen are very active at First Baptist Church in Muleshoe. He was also a member of the Lions Club and Rotary Club. Mark served for years on the Muleshoe Economic Development Board. Mark met Eileen in Ruston in 1987. They were married in 1988 on St. Patrick's Day. Eileen had a 9-year-old son from a previous marriage. His name is Daniel Garbarino. It was a little over 2 years after they were married that they moved to Muleshoe. Daniel, of course, moved with them. Many of you remember Daniel. He was a really good athlete, and he went to state in the 300 hurdles as a junior and senior here in Muleshoe. Mark told me that Muleshoe was a big adjustment for them. Louisiana had beautiful rolling hills. The scenery there with its gorgeous trees and walking trails were just fabulous. Bailey County was quite different with few trees and flat land. He also missed the lakes and found out that one had to travel far away to find a good fishing hole. Then Mark said, "The family and I really loved the people here. They accepted us and welcomed us, and they truly were the friendliest folks they had ever been around." It took their son Daniel a little longer to adjust, but he soon went from thinking they had ruined his life to realizing that Muleshoe was a really great place to be. After graduating from Muleshoe High School, Daniel went to New Mexico State in Las Cruces, where he was given an athletic scholarship. After graduating college, he held several different jobs. He decided, however, that what he really wanted to have was his own agency like his dad. He and his family are now in Elk City, Oklahoma, where he has his own where he is his own boss and loves it. I asked Mark, "What is your favorite pastime?" He said, "I enjoy fishing and hunting." He went on to tell me that his dad took him hunting when he turned 10 years old and fishing when he was much younger than that. Where he lived as a young boy was truly a sportsman's paradise. He and his dad hunted dove, squirrel, deer, duck, and many others, just any small game that was legal. As I talked further with Mark, I realized he is truly a real hunter. He has been to various countries hunting: South Africa, British Columbia, Spain, Argentina, and Zimbabwe, as well as Alaska here in the United States. Just some of his trophy animals include Cape buffalo, leopard, Dall's sheep, Rocky Mountain grizzly bear, and many others. He said that he loved hunting because it is such an exciting, rigorous, and demanding sport. The walls of his insurance office are filled with pictures from his various hunts. The walls of the Morton's home display some of his most interesting trophies. Mark's most famous and well-known trip was one he took on an archery elk hunt in the Gila Wilderness in southwestern New Mexico. I sat in awe as Mark told me step by step and day by day of this infamous hunt. But to make a long story short, Mark's hunting buddies went out early one morning to hunt. Mark was tired and told them he was going to sleep a little later and then just hunt in the immediate area until they returned. They all agreed, and shortly after Mark awoke, he decided to go and search the area. As he started up to the creek, he heard a bull elk, and he got up to try to get a shot. He couldn't get the shot off, so he continued walking. Within the next 30 minutes, he spotted a bear and a mountain lion. Because he was planning to do his hunting close to camp, he failed to take his compass and map with him. After walking some trails and hairpin turns, Mark realized he was lost. He also realized that he had only a few granola bars with him and his water bottle. For 2 days and nights, he followed different trails and mountains. Finally, Mark came to a sign that read Turkey Feather Pass. This gave him hope. He finally ran into two hikers. They showed him on their map where he was, which was only 12 miles from his camp. It was getting late, so Mark decided he would camp overnight and make the 12-mile trek the next morning. He did just that and got to his camp by noon. Only one guy was at the camp, and he was leaving when Mark showed up. Mark asked, "Where is everyone?" And the guy replied, "Hell, man, they have everyone out looking for you." He later learned that Muleshoe physician Dr. Frank Kretzinger had acquired a Navy helicopter to look for him. He also found out that his two hunting buddies, Barry Cowart and Larry Hancock, had spent the last 2 days and nights trying to find him. Upon hearing that there was a big search underway, Mark saddled a horse and started out to the trailhead to let everyone know he was okay. He hadn't gone far when he met a team of hotshot firefighters who were following his tracks on the trail to camp. They immediately radioed those in charge of the search to let them know Mark was okay. Mark really was feeling fine, but he had lost 10 pounds during those 2 days. When Eileen was notified by phone that Mark was missing, she immediately called his dad. They were very close, and she always considered him bigger than life. When Eileen told him that Mark was missing, he told her, "That boy is not lost. He knows his way in the wilderness. He may be hurt somewhere, so they must find him." His dad immediately got in his car and drove to New Mexico and joined the search for his son. Of course, all of the good people in Muleshoe during those 2 days lifted up prayers for Mark and Eileen. At the end of the day, when the whole ordeal was over, Mark's father took everyone out for a big steak dinner as a way to thank them for their efforts to find him. The next morning, when Mark finally arrived at his home in Muleshoe, Eileen had placed a sign on the front door that read, "Welcome home, Mark. You are grounded." I closed my questioning by asking Mark, if you could change anything about your life, what would it be? His answer was, "I would have found Eileen much sooner." He went on to tell me that she has a sign in their home that reads, "If I had my life to live over again, I would find you sooner so I could love you longer." Mark and Eileen have been married 35 years as of March the 17th. They live intensely and love strongly. We are blessed to have them here in Muleshoe. And that's Mark Morton, the Bailey County Senior Center, sponsor of the week for this week. And again, that was writing in their pamphlet, Carolyn Johnson Turner. Well, on your prayer list today, please continue to remember Robert Alanis, Joe and Leila Copley, Lonnie Lawrence, Mark and Martha Palman. Remember on your prayer list today, Kearney Scoggin, Lewis Wayne and Wanda Schaefer. Keep Mom on your prayer list today, Megan Reynolds, please. She's under hospice care here at home. Remember Renee Copley and Jonathan Flores, Debbie Hammer, Roby Kelton, Bernie Martz, Mac McLeod, Eddie Morris. Cleta Robertson needs to be on your prayer list today. Cliff Black, Terry Byers, Rowena Myers, Suzanne Nichols. Keep Jerry Bruton on your prayer list today as he is battling cancer. Also Carrie and Pat Moore in our local Parkview Nursing Care Center. Lewis Wayne Schaefer's in our Parkview as well. Pee Wee Estrada needs to be on your prayer list today. Cyrus Dell, Doris Scott, Ruby Green. Ed and Carol Cox, formerly of Muleshoe, now in the Houston area. Larry Combs and Judy Wilbanks, Daryl Embry. Tyrone Clements, John Blackwell. Olivia Barrera needs to be on your prayer list today. Tina Costilla. Keep on your prayer list today, please, those families that are grieving the recent loss of a loved one, including Rose Nichols, the family of Pam Flores, the family of Balti Orozco, the family of Shirley Boyd Anderson. Remember the family of Cheryl Ann Lindeman. The family of Mary Moore needs to be on your prayer list today. The family of Robert Montgomery, and the family of Sam Dameron. Well, it's just about time for us to go on this edition of the Muletrain News brought to you today by Leal's Mexican Restaurant. You can hear our latest Muletrain news programs free of charge on demand on our website, muleshoetv.com. Click on the Muletrain news link at the top center of the page. And of course, lots and lots of older archive Muletrains available as well for free.
I'm Tumbleweed Smith, harmonica from an ex-train engineer. Details in a moment on the Sound of Texas.
The Sound of Texas is brought to you here on MuleshoeTV.com by Bailey County Electric Cooperative Association, with offices in Muleshoe at 610 East American Boulevard, as well as in Morton at 1744 State Highway 114. They're celebrating rural electrification right here in the Muleshoe area through Bailey County Electric since 1939. They are owned by the members that they serve. Call 806-272-4504. Check them out online at bcec.com. The board of directors, the members, the employees, the manager, CEO David Markle, all hope you enjoy this Sound of Texas with Tumbleweed Smith.
Clyde McCarley of Brady learned to play harmonica while working on the railroad.
I was a railroad engineer, and many times, especially coming into Houston, you couldn't get in. They had to wait for a train to leave before you could take your train in, so they would put us in a sidetrack. The engineer was the only man that really had to stay awake. You had to watch the light, and when they gave you the green light, they expected your train to be rolling. So I was looking for something to keep me awake, and this was it.
He's self-taught and has been playing harmonica 30 years.
There's 10 holes there. Actually, you have 20 notes you can blow, and you get one note, and you can bring it back in, and it gives you another note.
On weekends, he'll get together with other musicians and present an informal concert.
5 of us, maybe 6. We've got everything: fiddle, guitar, banjo, sometimes a keyboard. We do enjoy teaching and showing younger kids a little bit about the music.
Usually a crowd gathers to hear them play.
We have a little joke going, and people don't pay us to play. Most of the time they pay us to quit.
Clyde McCarley of Brady. I'm Tumbleweed Smith with the Sound of Texas.